All right, welcome to the podcast. This week's episode is about why and how the game teaches both sides of the financial fence. Mac, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so this is a great subject, Ryan, and I'm so glad that we're able to sit here and share our thoughts on this topic because the Four Money Bears book originally came about because one of my clients said, "Hey, Mac, love your Mac Nuggets, love your first book. Would you be open to creating or writing a book that teaches kids what to do with money?" And my first book, I talk about the 5 steps to financial success. You have to plan accordingly, spend cautiously, save diligently, invest wisely, and give generously. So with the Four Money Bears, what we did was we took the 4 basic functions of money and we created Spender Bear, Saver Bear, Investor Bear, and Giver Bear as a way to introduce these 4 options to young people at a very early age, so that they knew, hey, once you get money, you actually have options. You don't just to run to the toy aisle and buy a bunch of stuff or just put in a piggy bank. One of the responses, though, we got, Ryan, from people was, "Mac, love this book. Love that you're talking to young people about what to do with the money once they have it. Is there any way to maybe write a book or teach them about how money is made on the other side of the fence?" And so, that's what we're able to do with the Four Money Bears Berryville. When you and I first sat down, I was like, "Ryan, I got this idea about berries and maybe having some sort of farm because I want people to be able to understand that side and how money's made in entrepreneurship." And you were like, "Mac, I've got the perfect game." So that's really what we talk about when we talk about both sides of the personal finance fence. We wanted to develop a platform where a child could understand how money is made through owning a business and then how to manage it on the other side.
Yeah, and I know it's a challenge to do that in a game. Obviously, I think a lot of people overthink it. People would be like, "Oh, we need to have all these types of jobs within the game." We're keeping it simple. We're sticking to farming. It's an easy one. You put something in the ground, it produces more of the something, and you are able to sell the surplus. So that's an easy piece. But we didn't want to limit ourselves. We want to add in the woodworking. We want to add in things like fishing, because those are just other ways to make money, obviously, very simple ways. And also mining, that's an easy one too. I think those are, you go to the basic type of jobs in real life. You don't want to start out and be like, "Hey, you can go work at a restaurant." And that's not going to help a kid understand where the food came from, right? So maybe the next step is you sell it to the restaurant and then they make stuff and they make money off of it. So you want to make sure you're starting out at the basics when we're teaching this. And there's been a ton of farming games out there. That's the nice thing about this. I think a lot of, we're not copying, but we're, expanding upon what a farming simulator has already done in the past. And we're making it actually about financial literacy. So when you're hitting these goals, we actually have information next to it. But I think it was interesting when you started talking about the personal financial fence. I never really thought of it that way, but the more you talked about it, I was like, honestly, entrepreneurship is such a important thing that I think all children should learn about. We live in America. It's you can start a company if you want to start a company and you have the know-how. I feel like most people don't have the know-how. What made you think, Mac, what does entrepreneurship mean to you in this? And what made you really kind of get into this?
So, part of it, Albert Einstein has a great quote. He says, "If you can't understand it simply, you don't understand it well enough." And so I think that's what we're really looking to do with this game, is really break it down and make things simple to understand. I compare what we're building, Ryan, to a digital lemonade stand for children. Like every kid growing up, I mean, you wanted to go out and sell your cookies or sell your lemonade or put your little table out front and folks come by and, hey, $1 for a cup of lemonade. We envision what we're building here as a sort of child's on-ramp to their personal financial education journey, right? And so if you're going to be playing a bunch of games on your device, hey, why not play a game that will be fun, will be entertaining, but also teach a little bit about money and okay, how does it work? Okay, I can farm these berries. All right. And now what are my options once I have these berries? Do we make some milkshakes? Do we make pies? Do we make all these different things? And then how do we then take it to that next level of, okay, how do you introduce things like investing? Well, hey, why don't, instead of buying clothes for your beer or buying all these things that you could, maybe you buy a blender, or maybe you buy an oven.
Right.
And that's how we're trying to easily explain to young people the power and the difference between spending, saving, investing, and giving, and making it fun. And then I like to say, sneaking some broccoli on the side.
I think that's a great aspect. I think every video game kind of does this right now, especially in the farming realm. Let's just say you need to dig a hole. A normal one of these games would be like, hey, here's a level 1 shovel that it kind of works for a while, and after 5 digs it breaks and you have to repair it, right? And then, but the level 2 shovel, that's a little bit better, but you have to spend more. So you're investing into your company to then grow. Maybe it's a little bit bigger. And then there's the highest value. Well, you can't afford the highest value yet. So what do you do? And I think giving the child the option and then having a moment of saying, do you know why, you know, what this option means is going to be really important. I think these are things we're going to add in there. Simply, now we won't add it where it's like, hey, kids, you have to learn about every single topic right now. It's more, do you want to learn? Here's a button to click if you do. And I think even more importantly, the parent portal will be able to say, hey, parents, your child just did this. They should understand a little bit about investing now. Here's some information about what they just did. They just learned about shovels. Here, and your parents can be like, I don't understand that. And then they're going to read the line. Here's the value of shovels in the real world. This is how you can talk to your kid about it. That's a really cool aspect that we're adding into this that I think will help not only parents, but teachers. We're calling it the parent portal because we are not focusing on sending this product directly to schools. If someone wants to, you know, put it in a school, great. We're just, you know, the shovelhead. So we're the shovelhead. You take, you know, whatever resources you need, you add it, you know, add your stick and your handle to the end of the shovelhead, and then you can present it to a school.
And we're going to make it so that a teacher, because one of the, you know, some of the input that we get in this from Finland Tech is there are teachers out there that want to teach this stuff, but they never got it themselves, and so they're not sure what platforms to use. And the platform that we're building, Ryan, is going to be able to allow a teacher, whether they're in Florida or Texas or New Jersey or New York, the ability to have that consistent platform, right? And have these resources, which we think is going to be really important, so that once these kids start playing this game and they understand entrepreneurship and they've done their quizzes and their quests on the other side to learn about managing the money, they've done it in this game, they've done it from such an early age, they can then translate that into real life, which is really what we're looking for them to do. That's
a good segue into I want to give a small shout out that one of our episodes in the near future is going to be who should be teaching financial literacy. So you'll want to turn into that one if you're interested in that subject. With that said, though, that'll wrap up this week's episode. Check us out next week for how habits, behaviors, and traits help when it comes to money. I think that's one of Mac's favorite lines to say. So
it is, because it's so true. And as I always say, Ryan, the journey continues.
As it always does. So catch you guys next time.